Hi there, welcome to the Noah Presgrove case. Today I wanted to focus in on a particular event which occurred Monday morning, the same day as Noah's death, and that's to do with the home owners and the ones that lived there at the time and still do supposedly, Avery and Carter Combs, sisters. They had a falling out and supposedly video footage of it. I'm going to give a backstory behind it, but also share with you my theories as to how significant the falling out is and how much does it link and apply to the Noah Presgrove situation. So welcome to those that are currently here in this live premiere, and for anyone else, be sure to stick around to find out these interesting theories and possibilities behind it. For those that are watching live, share your thoughts and opinions in the live chat box on the right hand side of the screen. And for anyone else, you want to leave your comments down below or questions in the comment section, feel free to do so. You will find a pinned comment by me with additional links if you do want to support this channel. And if you do need to catch up on previous videos that I've done on the case, top right corner of the screen where the eye symbol is, click there. You'll find the videos and the full playlist. Without further ado, let's begin looking into this interesting event. So in the public eye, what are we aware of? Well, first of all, this is Carter Combs and the birthday girl being Avery Combs, sisters as said, their mother being Stevie Howard, who weren't there at the time supposedly. Nevertheless, the event in which these two sisters had a falling out, where was it? Where did it actually happen? It's been said it was outside of the party house property on the front porchway, as you see there in the background. Now, in terms of the front porch, there's not much space for two people to be stood, but maybe it's possible. And if not, one could have been on the porchway and the other one could have been lower down near to the step. Regardless, that's where it happened. But why that specific location? Why wasn't the argument inside of the party house? Did they get away from everyone else to have a private conversation, I wonder? Well, it just so happened that there was supposedly another individual, a witness, that recorded the argument. Now, why would anyone think it's important to record an argument? Or is it just another senseless act like how people did at the party when the likes of Noah Presgrove was getting slapped about left, right, centre, and then others were drawing on his body? They thought it's kind of funny to record it and use it as a memory in the future, not as evidence. Does make you think. When it comes to the highway situation of the supposed hidden recorded footage after Caden Pressey left the scene at 5:30 in the morning, September 4th, 2023, why was someone recording and who was it? The supposed footage showed a police guy or a person removing shorts off Noah's body, tampering with evidence. Sounds quite corrupt, doesn't it? But the individual recording it must have done it for a particular reason, to document the injustice, to document the corruption, maybe to protect themselves. Now, did they whip their phone out in the moment, or was it already recording as if they knew what was going to happen, or that they sensed something was off? Could that be the same reasoning behind the argument escalating with the sisters? Now, in terms of the timing, the timestamp of the supposed video, well, publicly, we've not had access to it, so we've not been told or saw the timestamp. It was Ashley Chadwick and Robin Smith, people within the Presgrove family, that were on Partners in True Crime podcast just recently, not long ago, the Jack Newton interview one, where they gave their reactions, and they brought it up there in conversation. I believe it was more so Robin that talked about it, saying how the police have told us that they have the video footage of it. But it is interesting to know the timestamp and who's behind recording it. Did they record it just for fun? Did they record it because they felt something was wrong, something was off, and it needed to be documented? And if so, could they be the same person to have recorded other footage as well? It does make you think, right? Now, you could look at it different ways. I'm guessing that this recorded footage definitely happened after the supposed disappearance of Noah, when he was absent from the property as it's been claimed, right? The other way of looking at it could be post-news, the post-death of Noah Presgrove, where everybody starts finding out. And in terms of what Caden Pressey said himself at the time when the news came about, all the girls at the party house were crying and gathering in the kitchen area. Did arguments break out after that point or before? And where was Caden Pressey when Carter and Avery were arguing outside? Was Caden at the party house? Was he long gone by then? Was it at the time of when Caden and the guys were at the highway, so they wouldn't have seen or heard or known about it? But then, who was at the party house at the time of when the sisters were arguing? That's why the timing of it is very important, because the arguments could be a form of a blame game behind who's responsible for Noah going missing or who's responsible for Noah's death. In the moment when you hear bad news, we'll give some more scenarios in just a second. But let me know your thoughts behind this, because whilst there are claims out there where people have seen this or that, the shower footage, video, side-by-side rollover, it's said by members of the general public that have witnessed watching it in the past. How credible are they? You'd hope to put your trust within them, but you can never be too certain. Things can go upside down quick, can't they? But for the Presgrove family, some of which to say that they've been told directly by the police that there is video footage of it, maybe you can believe in it a little bit more. But to you, what's the significance of it? Is it that important and relevant to Noah's situation? I want to know what you think down below. Right now, I'm going to give you my thoughts. We're going to transition onto the maps as well, just so I can mention some key markers if need be. I think one important theme to bring up is the pattern of conflict and arguments breaking out at the party. Now, maybe, you can get some disagreements at times at parties, and maybe with the influence of alcohol and being drunk, things can escalate. But normally, when you have a party and with close friends, you get on well, you have a good time. But when you think of it, you've had the conflict with Noah and Jack Saturday night, which has been neglected, forgotten about since by Jack himself. Then you had Monday morning at 3 a.m. onwards up to 3:30 at some point where an argument happened again, and described by Justin Roy as very aggressive with pushing and shoving. Doesn't sound too good when after that, after Noah's supposed disappearance, he ends up dead. Doesn't look good. Some kind of physical altercation, which then ends up Noah being found dead. It's kind of easy to point the fingers at Jack in the moment with that particular example. Not worth going all in, because there's other people to look at as well. And besides those arguments with those two guys, best friends, you've also got the falling out with the sisters, Avery and Carter. So what the hell is going on? Oh, and let's not forget in between, when Noah was alive at the party, when Caden was either asleep or just simply resting on a sofa or chair with his body covering Mikey's phone. Then Mikey couldn't find his phone, got a bit angry or annoyed with Noah, took it out on him, and Noah retaliated by biting Mikey's finger. And whether it was before or after, Mikey fish hooked Noah. Maybe that's what led to Noah biting Mikey's finger, especially fish hooking into the mouth and pulling backwards. Other forms of fish hooking can be in dodgy ways, but the other one is fish hooking into the eye. That's pretty extreme. Now, in terms of eye injuries, none were mentioned in the autopsy from what I can remember. So unless like orbital bone and behind the eye damaged the bone itself, but I don't remember seeing that. As for being fish hooked, it wouldn't cause broken bones, more so it could cause blindness or the eye being ripped out, depending on how extreme it is. I don't think it went that far, but still, arguments, conflict. There seems to be a bit of a pattern of that from the party. Is that all because of the influence of alcohol? Would these people all be having falling outs with one another in the same timeline of events but without alcohol? Is it the alcohol that fuels it all? The body, the aggression, the frustration, the moodiness, the swings of the moods? Let me know your thoughts down below. So yeah, you would have seen some of these timestamps already by now. I mean, the ones what we could focus on possibly is the 3 to 3:30 sleeping debacle with Avery Combs and Logan's bedroom. It has been confirmed that Logan was living at the party house and still is with Avery and Carter Combs, 3 girls at the party house living there. How significant is that? It's the fact that Logan has gone under the radar and it only came out around July, I think, onwards, when she mentioned how she's got her own bedroom there and people reinforcing it with time. Key individuals in the case, let me just add about that, right? So with that being in mind, and with what Jack said in just recent time, throwing Logan's name into the pool of discussion. Oh, Logan, the last person to see Noah wander off, not Jack. Oh, but not Avery either. I think there's a chance that maybe all of them could at the same time or one after the other. You never know. But with the situation of Noah supposedly wanting to sleep in Avery's bed in the bedroom and that not working out, rejected, and then before or after that, Noah, as told by Jack, which is interesting, going to Logan bedroom and doing the same thing and supposedly being rejected. Being frustrated in the moment, Noah walking off to cool off, but just before that calling out Avery and giving a rude word description towards her, and then supposedly Avery following Noah and chasing him down. High emotions, conflict once again. Okay, you look at the general party footage, the laughing, having fun, it looks all fine and nice. Caden said Saturday the party mood and atmosphere was fine, nothing odd going on, at least from what he was aware of. But then comes Monday, or well, yeah, more so Monday morning, everything start going downhill. Just about all of the conflict and arguments occurred Monday morning, both before and after Noah supposedly left the property. So that's where things really started heating up. And I'm thinking that by then, Monday, a portion of partygoers would have already left. I mean, does anyone know the exact figure as to how many people were at the party up until Noah left? We've heard the figure 30 to 40 people there at the party Sunday night. Some coming and some going. But how many people were at the party house from 3 in the morning to 3:30 Monday? That would be good to know, because that's where quite a few of these conflicts and arguments seem to come about. And as I said, the Avery and Carter situation is the focal point of today, but I just wanted to give you a bit of a brief backstory as to other arguments, other conflicts with other party goers. Whether it all links to the same theme or general different things, the overall theme could be regarding Noah before and after what happened to him. Look at it this way. Mikey had trouble with Noah because Mikey couldn't find his phone. Cross wires, misunderstanding, but still Mikey took it out on Noah and Noah retaliated back by biting his finger just because Mikey couldn't find his phone. Interesting. Did Mikey react in the way he did because it triggered some kind of PTSD within him or other psychological issues? Who knows? Does Mikey have a short fuse? Who knows? But still, Noah caught in the firing line of it all, whilst Caden, unknown to him, had Mikey's phone because he was laying on it, supposedly. But still, the theme was, hey Noah, where's the phone? Where have you put it? Do you know where it is? Noah just caught up in it all, right? But then afterwards, I'm guessing, Avery Combs, if Noah said what he said to Avery and then Avery following Noah and having a go at him, you know, because she's been insulted and supposedly, this occasion, Noah could possibly be putting himself in the firing line and up for criticism and arguments. So does that. And then whether it ties in line with the same event or another situation, girl trouble in general, then Noah ends up coming across Jack Newton, and then that's when that aggressive argument breaks out too, with pushing and shoving. So it's from one argument to another. Noah's getting involved in a lot of arguments or getting caught up within it, all on Monday. It doesn't sound too positive, does it? Doesn't sound like much of a party if you're just focusing on one day morning time. Interesting. Now, as for Avery and Carter, that could well be about Noah as well. So why not do Street View just for the time being? Now, why would Avery and Carter be having an argument? Well, if we saw the video, we might actually know what it's talking about. We don't have that yet, so we can fill in the blanks with the possibilities. That if it's on the front porchway of the party house, what you see down there, as you've seen in the photo earlier on in this video, if it's, you know, outside, could well be because you're getting away from other people. You want some privacy to have a private conversation or argument. You don't want it to be around other people because you don't want to make a scene. That's a possibility. Interesting how it's in the same spot as when Jasmine Millan decided to go outside and take a private selfie, or more, not a private one, a solo selfie by herself with the caption, "Well, Noah is missing." Interesting. I'm guessing that Jasmine Millan's post occurred first and then later Carter and Avery went outside on the front porchway. For privacy, possibly. But obviously it didn't work if someone was there in the background recording it. The interesting question would be, from what angle was the video recorded? North, east, southwest? What location were they at? Direction? Were they closer to the shed, the barn in the background, or closer towards the tree as you see in the distance? And were they lurking when recording? Did they have their phone out straight so Avery and Carter could see? Or was it done in a stealth way? The more stealthy it is, the more likely that they're using it as possible evidence for the future. And if there was a level of concern or caution to record anything and everything that you find suspicious in the moment with key individuals, would imply that that individual behind that camera could well be aware of what's happened to Noah, or at least they've heard post-news of Noah's death and now they're thinking it must be someone from the party, and that's why they're recording it. I mean, if you think about it, if it's true that Carter and Avery have been on record, or even just the audio of them having an argument, it would have to be a video recording for the proof and the mention of them being outside on the front porchway. Now, the CCTV cameras at the party house would probably have picked it up as well, but supposedly the cameras weren't working at the time. Well, at one point they were, but then for everything else, it didn't seem to work. How convenient is that? But what I'm getting at is, how come one argument is recorded by someone or some people between Avery and Carter, but there's no video recordings of the likes of Noah and Jack having a falling out Saturday, or even Monday morning where it turned aggressive? Why wasn't that recorded? Why is it only recorded with Avery and Carter? Selective or what? It makes you think. Or is it past a certain point that's when people started catching on and thinking, you know what, now we need to start recording and documenting the negative side, the dark side of the party? Because if you think about it, both arguments which involved Jack and Noah was when Noah was alive and somewhat well. Saturday, yes. Monday morning, supposedly too. Then after that argument, who knows what happened to Noah? And then that's when video recordings started taking place. Now, I know we could talk about the shower situation, but it depends if that's foul play or not. Others in the background talk about Noah being hosed off, like post-death, but before the news breaking out publicly. I mean, Noah's been washed several times then, but that's a different story, isn't it? So, the two themes and factors of, depending the timing, whether it be just after Noah's disappearance, just after Jasmine Millan's Snapchat post, and figuring out where he's gone, what's happened to him, the argument all because of that with Avery and Carter. Whichever way around it is, it could be more so with Avery, where Carter is like, I can't believe, Avery, that you didn't let Noah in your bed. Because of you rejecting him, he's wandered off and we may never see him again. How could you do that? And then Avery could respond saying, yeah, but he called me a fat beep. How dare he do that? And he's also seen Logan in the background going in her bed and also kissing the night before. So, why should I allow someone like that in my bed when, he's going about like past the parcel? And anyway, Carter Combs, you're the designated driver, so why didn't you take him home then? And then Carter could be like, well, I was the only person, I had to take other people home. And anyway, I couldn't take Noah home because, Jack, my boyfriend, he seems a bit obsessive or picks up on things when there's nothing there. And he had an argument on Saturday with Noah about girl trouble, and at some point, because Noah was talking to me in the corner of the room and Jack picked up on it and then got a bit too cautious about it and thinking more into it when there wasn't. So I don't want to be too close to Noah or give him rides back or anything, because then Jack could start having a go at me or Noah. Do you get the idea? That's just a scenario of how the conversation could have gone. Obviously with a higher pitched voice. Any crying? Don't know, that wasn't mentioned. But an argument, shouting, I think that's how it was described as, so quite negative. Back and forth, possibly playing the blame game. Who's more responsible for the reason why Noah left the party and went missing? You're the one responsible. You pushed him away. You should have kept him close to you. Now he's off anywhere. He could be in danger. That's how it could have gone. But if it was all because of that particular reason, then they should have been passionate enough to report him in as an official missing person and not be like, you know what, this is really bad. It's your fault. It's your fault. We need to search. No, actually, he's probably okay. Let's leave it for now. And then switch like that. No, I don't think so. So, it feels more likely, in my opinion, that this argument falling out actually occurred post-disappearance, but post-death, the news of hearing about the death, hearing about where Noah's body was found. Avery and Carter could be having a go at one another, saying, do you know what happened? Are you responsible? Did you, Avery? This is in the words of Carter, based on just a scenario theory. Carter could be like, Avery, do you know anything about this? What happened to Noah? Any of your friends, the Texas boys, the guys you invited to the party house who shouldn't have been here because there was other, close group friends and underage people? Is there any of your individuals that decided to get revenge on Noah just because of a prank played at some point or because of what Noah said to you in the bedroom situation? Anything like that? And then Avery could respond back saying, I've no clue. How could you say that about me? We're sisters. And then they start falling out. That could be a scenario. What other reason would there be to be arguing around the time of Noah's death? Arguing about what else? Who's responsible? The failure of disposing of the body properly? Arguments with the party itself? The alcohol? The distribution? Who knows? I mean, it's been said that from 3 a.m. up to 3:15, Justin Roy said there was like a social media blackout. All went quiet. Why is that? But then, at some point later on, it was recorded of the argument with Avery and Carter. Must have been a reason to record it. So, they're like the two theories and outcomes based off just the blame game with why Noah wandered off and who's responsible for that, supposedly. And if not that, the blame game of, does anyone know? Do you know? Are you responsible? Or the other way around between the sisters as for hearing about the news of Noah's death. Now, grief, with hearing bad news, you can react with sadness, you can react with a bit of anger and aggression, you can take it out on the wrong people in the moment, of course, but still, the blame game, the questioning, the lack of trust within one another, if it's based off that theme of an argument, there might be more to it. Of course, if there was a transcript of that supposed video recording or audio, it would help massively. It's not been released to the public. So all we can do is come up with ideas and possibilities. But I think the general theme is, within this case, there's conflicts, arguments, more so Monday, how it escalated, and Noah was caught in the firing line on multiple occasions, warranted or unwarranted more so. And it even carried on after Noah's departure from this world, from the looks of it. Interesting. Let me know in the comment section whether you agree or disagree with my points. If you want to elaborate, feel free to do so. It'll be interesting to see what happens next. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye and good night.